If you saw my video about our geek office, you probably realized that I had a bunch of audio devices in the form of half-rack units. And recently I received a MU100 tone generator from Yamaha as a part of the project I'm working on. So what's interesting about the MU100 is that it has an expansion board which allows to add additional cards, and it has two MIDI in on the back, which with some trick in the setting you can make it so in A goes to the internal sound and in B goes directly to the secondary card, which means you're not losing any of the MIDI channel polyphony or anything like that. You have two dedicated MIDI channels. Unfortunately, when I tried it, there were some problems. Like, as many of these devices, they have a demo mode where you can play demo music, and it was all wrong. And then I tried some MIDI files, and it was even worse. And there is a diagnostic mode that you can use, which goes through all the parameters, asks you to press on buttons, and also check the chips inside. And IC38 and 39 failed. So I contacted the eBay seller and showed what was the problem. And while doing that, I found out that if you wait 1 hour or 45 minutes, the problem vanishes. So, and then they come back when it's cold. So it's a problem of thermal, probably caused by factory issues on the series of MU100, 100R, where the surface-mounted components are not properly soldered. And yeah, the bottom line is it kind of works, and it's probably possible to solve. So I'm waiting for some better magnifier to see if I can reflow all that. And in the meantime, I wanted to try the expansion board. The problem is, in the Yamaha system, there are two series. There are the PLG, so plug-in board, PLG100 and PLG150. And the PLG100 are from the time period where the MU100 was built. And the PLG150 were made years later, and they are supposed to be compatible, and they bring some advantage. The 100 version does not have any onboard saving, while the 150 has saving parameters. But I was not sure it would work, and it was not documented anywhere, so I contacted Yamaha Norway, which redirected to Yamaha Japan, and answered, yes, PLG150 is compatible with Modular synthesis plugin in system and also XG plug-in board. If the customer has MU100 or 100R, the customer can call presets on the PLG150 board, but please note that the customer can't dive to edit parameters like oscillator type in a PLG150AN. Also, there are very few chances that the PC software editor work. So the bottom line is, if I could find PLG150 only with sound, it will probably work. But anything requiring tweaking on parameters will not. So I wanted to give a try, and the prices of this thing go from quite affordable to insanely expensive. The DX7 compatible card, the PLG100 DX, goes up to 500 euros before shipping and taxes. So it's just ridiculous. But that one is the one nobody wants. It's a percussion plugin board, PLG150-PC Latin Groove Factory. 32 notes polyphony expander module, 80 kits, Afro-Cuban plus Brazilian percussion, built-in editable effect. So it's things like tick-tick-doo, tick-tick-tick-doo, samba, and things like that. So in theory, it's just plug and you get sound. Nothing to set up, so it should work. And I got this nice note from the seller. Dear customer, thank you for purchasing at our shop. I include small gift which made of origami Pokemon is Pikachu. Please feel free to contact us related to your purchase, and we are happy to have you positive feedback with our service. Best regards. So there it is.
an oasis of world-class Latin percussion. Studio quality Latin percussion, sound and polyphony expansion for your modular, blah blah blah. And with software for Windows XP, Millennium 98 and 2000. And so, as you can see, it's unopened. The card here. Still sealed CD. Some thing written in Japanese. And here we have the manual. Interestingly, the manual of this is common to two of the cards, the DR, which is drums, and the PC, which are percussion. The two cards have the same feature, basically, it's just different sound. That one is easy to find. The DR, could not find it on eBay or Weaver. But then, when I opened first the box before the video, this was on top. And it's written MU100, MU100B, MU100R, with some ominous message I can't understand, and something that looks like a small paper you should cut. So I scanned it, and I used some translation software, and that was quite a catastrophe. So ultimately I had to use people on Twitter to find me what it meant. So, just for the lol, that's the original. This is Yandex Translate, who says something about partial sound color. On another translation system, which tells something about it will not be pronounced in T. And yeah, we will add amortized, cut the following. It's basically nonsense. But I managed to get somebody to actually translate it, and what it meant is PLG150-DR and PC are the plugin board for modular synthesis plugin system and XG plugin system. But if you use them with MU100 generation, some tone will not be performed as the original quality. Yamaha provide a free service that modifies the MU100, 100B and 100R to adapt for the PLG150 cards. So you fill the form at the bottom of the document, then bring it with your MU100 thingy to the shop where you buy it, then they will upgrade your MU100. So basically it's not incompatible, it's probably that something in the audio department, maybe some capacitors or resistors like the audio level. So I did not connect it because I wanted to make sure it was not actually a problem such as if you connect it on a MU100 it explodes, which would have been a problem. So I'm going to try that now. So this is what it looks like inside, and by the way, this here is IC38 and that is IC39, that's the two components which are failing when it's cold. So, here we have the card, so not much as you can see. It's all very thin solder, so you don't want that to fail. So here we have a connector. So the question is, does it get connected like that? Installing the optional plug-in system. So turn off the power, turn on upside down, remove the first screw, unlatch and remove the holder.
there is only one direction to put it, which is good. So I guess it goes like that, which means this way. And need to keep that. Now the big question is, will it start? Power on, not a good sign. Please wait. Run piano. Oh, I see now I have a plugin option. So select. So does it still work? So the are the things which are not working properly. But at least it's working, so what does the plugin say? PLG150-PC. Part assigned. Yeah. And we can see small drums there. Not sure if you can see. So there it is. Now I will need to do some tests to see how it actually works, which means trying to get the CD-ROM to work. So I managed to get the CD working. Kind of. It's a DVD RW, and when I tried to ripon ISO, for some reason I could not find the Windows version online. Even the Yamaha website only has the PLG150-PC tools only for Macintosh. I don't know why. Anyway, I managed to extract the files. So what we get is Acrobat Reader and some folder for the DR, the drum version, and for PC. PC which is not PC, it's percussion. And we have a software which I did not manage to get. There is some compatibility issue. It installs, it is not run. But there are some demo and some XG files that we can see here. So I'm going to zoom on the display, and I'm going to play some of the demos so you can hear how it sounds. Now let's start with the demo.
And there are also some solo MIDI files, which instead of using the rest of the instrument, only show the internal instrument. Interestingly, the first few are sounding perfectly okay, and a bunch of others are sounding like they are clipping or low definition. So maybe that's the problem they were talking about. So you will see here when I start, it's going to select some drum, XG, next demo. So I think that one was sounding pretty weird. So not sure if it's a normal sound I expected, but to me it sounded like broken. So that's all for the demos of the PLG150-PC. But I'm going to finish by the actual demo of the MU100. Now it's warm, so the sound should be okay. And if you have MU100 and you have problem, in the description I'm going to link on another video, the one I sent to the eBay seller, which shows the audio problem and before and after it's warm. So it could be interesting. And if I manage to fix it, I will make a video of that as well, showing how to fix it. Well, as you probably noticed, the problem is still happening, so I'm going to stop the demo here. Yeah, so you can hear the actual demo working on the other video. Enjoy!